Hi, welcome to The Pursuit of Truth. It is the 15th of May 2018. Right, the first thing I wanted to talk about was I think a problem we have in the truth flat earth arena, although it is a difficult one to get around, and I'll explain why. The problem I see is that the they culture and not attacking but not trusting. You know, there tends to be a lot of talk about, or this person, you know, he's doing this and this person's doing that and this person shouldn't be doing this and they are doing that and it's them who are doing it. And I understand why, because through both movements, for a better terminology, is all about lies we've been told. And obviously if you've been lied to, then you start to question. You know, it's like if you were in, say, a marriage or a relationship, I should say, and someone has an affair, then you're going to be mistrusting of that person, and it breaks down, you start not trusting anyone, and then you have trust issues. This is common sense within the human dynamic. We understand that. So obviously in these issues of flat earth and truth of movement and false flags and conspiracy and whatever we want to call it, is all about the idea that people are being lied to, usually by powerful people. So that makes it even worse, because you're meant to, you know, we're brought up believing that the people in power are there for our benefit and it's to serve us all. So yeah, I understand where this mentality comes, but it is a problem sometimes, because I tend to listen to a lot of attacking different people. I don't think it's beneficial, but I understand sometimes why it has to be done, because sometimes someone will notice, you know, some unusual behaviour, because the idea of agents or shills or people who are purposely trying to get into the movement and push it in a certain direction. There is historical fact that this kind of thing happened in the hippie movement and in other types of movements, cult movements. We know, you know, that it's used in police terms. So, you know, it's not an impossible belief to think that some people may not be as they appear. But the problem is you don't really know. And sometimes it could be just because people don't know the facts or are ignorant, or, you know, everyone has a different way of learning. Everyone's journey is different. You know, if you took me before, when did I start getting into all of these truth and movement and flat earth? It was sometime last year. If you talked to me at the beginning of the year, I probably wouldn't have believed half of these things, and now my eyes are open and I'm starting to question. So, you know, if you've got me 10 years ago, I'd be completely different. So sometimes it's to do with the journey of people and their understanding. So I just think it sometimes comes across as a bit negative and a bit divisive, and sort of sometimes it fuels so much that it takes over the actual like mission of what we're trying to all achieve, which is truth, which is a fair level playing field. You know, that people stop lying and people own up and we start living a better life, a better existence. This came from me watching Beyond the Imaginary Curve. I was going to do this yesterday, but I didn't really want to, because I also feel that sometimes it's wrong for me to question someone else. I'm not attacking, I don't want it to come across like that. I just felt that I've seen Dale do a few programs which have been a little bit negative, and I think it sort of drifts away from the use that he could be doing in that time. But I understand why it's being done. But sometimes I think we fall into that they. It's almost like also when we say about the Illuminati and stuff like that, you know, people tend to use that as a way to explain things without actually being able to point at a particular person or even a particular organisation. You know, it's an easy way of saying somebody did something without any real proof, and then if someone actually says, well, who, you know, explain who they are, you wouldn't be able to. So I think it's very dangerous when we start using they and start being negative. Yeah, I just felt that I just needed to mention that. But the thing is, the reason why I was reluctant is because I don't want people to believe that I'm attacking, or, you know, this is just my opinion. But then I'm thinking, well, why should I air my opinion? Why should But then I'm thinking, well, why? I don't know. So now I'm starting to think that, am I doing the same thing? And is it part of the human psyche that we have to air our own opinions, and that there are our own opinions? The other thing I was thinking about, Dale was talking about is when he was talking about, you know, egos and things. And it's true, we do have this problem with our own ego, and sometimes we don't even know it's happening. It's like the very fact that we're all on YouTube, that is partly to do with the ego. You know, why are we all on YouTube, broadcasting all the time, telling the story? Some of it is, yeah, because we want to get this statement over. But I mean, like you said, what's the point of like regurgitating the same thing over and over again? You know, how many times can you talk about the truth movement of flat Earth? But sometimes you think of a new thing and then you think, oh, I've got to get that out. But then, you know, I look at myself, I tend to record these things, you know, they're like only 10 minutes, but they're like once a day, or, you know, I don't usually miss a day. I usually record at least something once a day. So I was starting to think to myself, well, am I just doing that because I enjoy, you know, speaking, or I enjoy coming up with these ideas, or the hope that I will come up with something that makes sense and that will enlighten other people? So I don't know, it's a double-edged sword, where sometimes you can, like Dale says, you can overdo it, but sometimes it's necessary to get it out, because if you don't get it out, the only thing that's going to get out is the official story, and then no one's going to open their eyes. So it's very difficult, this road. The other interesting thing he was talking about was, you know, how some people that come on this movement, they tend to maybe don't do a great job, and so there's a lot of mistakes, and that made me think about whether I should be doing this as well, because I don't know great deals of the science and the maths and things like that. You know, if there was someone who knew about science and maths, they could easily intimidate me, and I wouldn't be able to answer some of those more complicated questions. So I start to wonder, am I doing a disservice by talking about these things? My whole idea of doing this is that I believe that I can see things that that don't, to me, make sense, and that's what I'm trying to verbalise. That I don't know the answers. I'm in pursuit of the truth. I don't know it. I'm in pursuit of it. I want to know it, and my hope is by doing these things that I will understand these things, and other people will be able to correct me or be able to see whether I'm making sense or not. So yeah, it is interesting, because sometimes it's easy for us all to get on YouTube and talk about things when, you know, we may not be doing favours to the subject, because we don't know all this stuff. But then that's the beauty of YouTube. It's not like television. Anyone can do it. It's just our personal opinions. Anyway, yeah, lots to think about there. Please leave your comments, what you think, and I don't know how many more. I said that before. I'm going to do with these. I'm going to try and sort of relax it a bit now, because I feel that, you know, I don't think I should be doing too many things when I don't know, like, all these different stronger arguments and stuff. So I don't want to do the movement any disservice by, you know, muddying the waters, or, you know, being an easy person that can be used against the movement, of saying like, oh look, here's this, you know, he doesn't know what he's talking about, half the things he said were inaccurate. Anyway, take care, take it easy, God bless, and peace.